Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's episode of Canal Days. As always, I'm your host, Carrie, along with my co-host, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Comeau. Our Canal Days series delves into the vast collection of historical sites throughout Massachusetts, with Robert's expertise of the local history as our personal guide. Each episode, we uncover history throughout local communities with historic houses, meaningful monuments, preeminent, pivotal pioneers, and remarkable remaining remnants, all while uncovering their seminal significance. Today's episode of Canal Days will be canvassing the Holyoke Country Club of Holyoke, Massachusetts. And can you reveal the history of the Holyoke Country Club?
In 1906, there were a group of people that wanted to start up a new golf course, but it's Smiths Ferry, but it was part of Northampton. So this wonderful golf course came around probably because Smiths Ferry area was an exclave of Northampton still. That exclave means a portion of a community that is separated from the other parts of the community. There was East Hampton in between there, and all this land was Farmers Field, and they were giving it up, and it was bought by some golfers. Northampton already had one big golf course. They started up another one. But 3 years later, the land became that of Holyoke. And right from the beginning, the name was Holyoke Country Club. The reason why is because there were people in Smiths Ferry were already identifying with Holyoke very strongly. And that's why the exclave was given up and became part of Holyoke itself. A very interesting fact, and they celebrated their centennial year in the year 2006. And they know the history very well. If you go inside there, they have a list of all the champions through the years, through different divisions. They're put on these wooden plaques on the wall. It's a beautiful sight, and it's a very beautiful course itself.
And can you disclose the location of the country club and golf course?
Yes, it's located at the very northern tip of Smiths Ferry neighborhood, or the very northern tip of Holyoke, and also thus the very northern tip of Hampden County, far north you can get. And it's on a road from Northampton Street. It seems to be off of Northampton Street, but that was because Northampton Street at one time did go in 4 different locations, slightly different places from us now. And one of those places was this little road that now has the Laney House and the Holyoke Country Club along it. And Northampton Street went along there until the year 1955, I believe, when they redirected the highway over a bit to make it straighter and thus safer. So it became a very nice portion of Holyoke, and it's got its own access road that you can go into.
And we will be right back after a quick break. Are you fascinated by local history and eager to investigate the obscure treasures off the beaten path throughout the state of Massachusetts? Or maybe just seeking an unforgettable cultural activity for family and friends to enjoy? Look no further than Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, founded by Robert Comeau. With over a decade of experience, Robert offers captivating tours and presentations of historic sites and landmarks throughout the state. Whether you're interested in canals, cemeteries, charming churches, or more, Robert's tours provide a unique and enriching experience for all. And that's not it. You can also schedule private tours tailored to your interests, ensuring a personalized adventure and unforgettable memories. Perfect for families or groups of all sizes, making for an exciting hands-on learning experience that brings history to life. Simply visit holyokecanaltour.org or email bobcat4214B@yahoo.com to book your private tour today. But wait, there's more. Don't miss out on Robert's podcast and video series, Canal Days, where you can dive even deeper into the vital history of the Connecticut River Valley. Plus, for those who may not be local or would rather enjoy on the go or from the comfort of their home, Canal Days brings the adventure right to your screen. So don't miss out. Uncover the pivotal past with historical tours of Greater Holyoke to make your own history with memories that will last a lifetime. Remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org for more information and secure your personalized experience today. Welcome back to Canal Days episode of the Holyoke Country Club. And I hear there is something unusual on this golf course. Can you illuminate on the reservoir on the property?
Yes, it's one of many beautiful features. It's a reservoir, so not a lake, so it's not natural. And it's stopping up what's called the Serendipity Brook with a very small concrete dam. And that allows the water to form a reservoir. And there is a culvert that goes from there a long distance, a few hundred feet, and it regroups itself as a serendipity on the other side of Northampton Street. Now, also in this course, you do have natural features. The land naturally is undulated, and you have a backdrop of the end of the Mount Tom Range. The Mount Tom Range is about 5 miles long. On the southern reaches, it's about Mount Tom, but on this side, you have Mount Nonotuck, which is curving towards the mountain, and so you got a nice backdrop. And during certain times of year, May and October, November, you got a great scenery there. So if you're out for a golf, you got nice scenery, but if you're just there to take in some scenic views, it's a very pretty golf course for itself. And so keep in mind this course has a beautiful little reservoir, and thus I would call it the Serendipity Reservoir, even though it doesn't really have a name.
And can you analyze how this country club's course may compare to courses throughout Holyoke?
Yes, there used to be 3 golf courses in Holyoke. That's right, there's now 2. There used to be one that is closer to Jarvis Avenue and East Hampton Road. Nowadays is a Lutheran church and a restaurant there. Behind them in the woods, there was a golf course, 9 holes long. It lasted through the 1940s and 50s before it closed up. It got a lot of people from Westover Air Force Base to go to it. It was a short course, so it might take them only 2 hours, and had a nice country club or restaurant there. So, yes, it had one. Now, the history of Mount Tom Golf Course is very long and elaborate because they moved that 3 times. And that started out in 1898, and it was down on the base of Northampton Street until they moved it up much further to a place where now is Briarwood Circle. And then they moved it again in 1966 when the interstate came around, so that it was totally on the west side of the interstate. And to get into it, you had to, instead of going to Northampton Street, you had to go on East Hampton Road. So that was golf course number 2. And then there was this one, started in 1906. In chronological order, it was Wyckoff / Mount Tom, then this Holyoke Country Club, and then the one that was near Jarvis Avenue. And so the history of golf inside of Holyoke has been long. The only 18-hole golf course is the Wyckoff. They're all pretty in their own way because you all got the backdrop of Mount Tom. And remember I told you this one was even in Northampton. And that's a very strange. Now, where would they have golf before in 1898? People would have gone off to Springdale Park, which back then was called Riverside Park, and they would hit their golf balls around there. People didn't like that because people were out walking in the park, and so golfers changed their attitude and made their own. Right in 1898, right at the edge of Northampton and Holyoke border. In fact, the course went through both communities. So what an elaborate history. So I hope you understood this. My friend Tom Cass adds a lot more to this through his presentations. So if you can catch his presentation at some point, that would be great. Thank you.
And thanks for listening to Canal Days and our episode on the Holyoke Country Clubs, and joining us on our journey through the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. We hope you enjoyed uncovering some of the hidden and overlooked marvels and their fascinating stories that shaped our past and the state of Massachusetts. A special thanks to Robert Comu, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke. For more information about Robert's tours, book private tours, and explore the Canal Days video and podcast series at holyokecanaltour.org. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and share. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. Don't forget to keep exploring and discovering the history that is hidden in plain sight all around us. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to tune into our next episode of Canal Days. And